Every night at around 8 o'clock, I'd get a phone call. "Can you come to the playground to play ditch?" I can hardly recall the answer ever being no. Then I'd pass along the message and leave with my brother to go meet everyone at the playground. The playground was located in the center of the apartment complex. Unlike the US, where my mother would be uncomfortable with me walking around the neighborhood anytime past 8, China was so safe that my parents had no problem letting their 11-year-old go across the street unsupervised and play games well into the night. Despite the fact that we were in a city 10 times the size of Detroit, there was always a sense of safety, and no one thought twice about letting their kids roam around the neighborhood after hours. Anyways, after our literal game of telephone, we would all congregate at the playground. There were a multitude of exciting games in our repertoire, but the crowd favorite was a game called Ditch. In case you're ever inclined, this is how it works. It's a night game that is basically an intense version of hide and seek. The "it" is confined within the bounds of their territory, in our case, the playground. They were given the option to use a flashlight to aid them in their task of spotting and calling out the other players. The "it's" main objective is to protect the safety object. In our case, that was the red slide. Once a player touched the red slide, they were safe from elimination and had won the game. Unlike other games with a single winner, Ditch is fun because it's everyone versus the "it." Players can work solo or team up as long as they're able to accomplish their goal of reaching the safety object. The game begins like any hide and seek, though. The "it" counts and everyone hides. The only rule is that they must choose a hiding place outside the bounds of the "it's" domain. In the frenzy, random players would often end up hiding in the same spot. Next came the fun part. The players had to race into bounds to touch the safety object. But all the "it" had to do to eliminate them was call out their name, and after that, say a number. Their number was just the order that they were called. If it was the first person the "it" had spotted, they would say 1 after the number. If it was the second, 2. Pretty simple. It would sound something like, "Kyle 1, Daniel 2, I see you in the bushes, Jasmine 2. Jasmine, I called you. You said 2, but you already called 2. I'm 3. Like that. In order to win, players had to be strategic. The closer to the "it's" domain you got, the easier it was to be spotted, but if you hid farther away, then you'd have to take more time to get there. We quickly realized that the advantage, though, was to send multiple players out at once. In the time it took to call out Anne, Parker would be able to reach safety. Some of the more ninja-inclined players would use the shadows to sneak into bounds, lessening the distance before sprinting into safety. However, as the nights grew chiller, everyone's favorite tactic soon became disguises. Since the "it" had to call out a name, we'd switch jackets and hats in order to confuse them. What with the darkness and the fact that we were running, it made it twice as hard on the "it," and by the time it took to shout out the wrong name, we'd already made it to the slide. The best part about Ditch is that there's no right way to play it. You can work alone or in groups, and you can use whatever strategy you come up with. Every night was a new adventure, and even though the memories of all those summer nights and winter nights we played all the time have all been blurred into one, I can still attest that it was always worth it. Even as an adult, I'd still be down to play Ditch if given the call.
Well, we fell apart just in time. Ooh, you say at least it was worth a try. At least it was worth